I just realized that I came up here completely to start vlogging my studio room tour that I had planned for this weekend, and nothing is clean because I haven't cleaned since the Yennefer build, so I'm gonna be right back. For reference, this is unclean for me. Look at that mess. Mess! Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. This week's video is gonna be a bit more relaxed. It's not a big, huge video like Yennefer was last week. It is just, as the title suggests, a studio tour of my sewing loft. And if you're like, Amanda, I've seen this video. Yeah, well, you have, but I have since flipped my entire sewing area because quarantine has made me clean like a crazy person, and I've gotten rid of stuff, I've got new stuff, I've got new products to show you guys, and just stuff to show you in general because this is my paradise and I just want to show it off and yeah, just show you guys where I spend the majority of my time. So the first thing I want to show you guys is my brand new head wall. Yes, head wall. This exists for the reason factor that I make a lot of cosplay headwear that is not easily storable in, you know, boxes and are too big, or I don't want to show them in boxes, and also for the fact that I just want to show them off because they're beautiful. My dad did an awesome and made all of these stands for me that do hang on the wall, and they are sturdy. They're just made of wood and PVC piping. Like I said, these are pretty much just cosplay sculptures that I wanted to put on my wall. It's kind of a weird macabre feel, but that's okay. I think it still looks pretty cool, and I can't wait to add more to my head wall. Okay, moving on into the loft itself. I say loft is that it is really a loft. See, down there is where my living room is, and up here is where I work, and it has a lot to do with the fact that I am up higher, I'm over my kitchen, and I'm with the air conditioning vents and the hot water heater that you guys see in the background of all my videos. So let's go over to this little corner first, shall we? So this corner really doesn't have anything fancy to it at the moment besides my ring light that lights up everything. I have a good selection of books that I like to keep here, as well as a ton of sketch pads and, excuse me, all of my other sewing machines that I have that are in storage at the moment, tripods, and also my binders for my special effects makeup binder and patterns that I'll show you guys in a little bit more about, promise. Tripods, a lovely white bed sheet, and then my awesome mirror that I just have here very close to my stairs, which is kind of scary, but that I, you know, a mirror for the sake of mirror things, right? Yeah. Moving on to the first shelf unit on your right when you come up. It used to just store a bunch of stuff like rhinestones and beads and stuff, but I have a different sewing area, or a different storage area for that now. Now this is kind of like a little shelf to, I don't know, show off things, like my cute self. Look how cute she is. And that's my great grandmother, who also was a seamstress. I am the oldest child. A glass blown pumpkin that I did years ago. My Stormtrooper helmet, Baby Yoda ears, Baby Yoda, who watches over all of my builds gracefully and wonderfully, bless his soul. Some packages that need to go out, and the shelf below is just kind of my tchotchkes shelf. I actually purchased these ladies for an upcoming video. We're gonna do a repaint and remodel Goodwill thrift finds into characters and figurines, because I thought it would be fun. So that's coming up further down the line. Fabric storage, tripods, a Mary Poppins umbrella because, you know, like you bar. And that's pretty much this shelf. I really like to utilize a lot of space up here because there's really not that much wall space. So everything is kind of stacked in boxes and bins. You'll see when I turn around. Hey, Yennefer! So moving on to this section of the sewing loft experience. It's kind of messy, but it is what it is. It's my ironing area. I actually have some new irons to show you guys in just a second once I go over all of this. ironing hams, places that I keep ironing supplies, water, all of my scraps that I need to put in my cosplay scrap fabric book eventually. And then behind it is storage, lots of storage. And then right here is my first shelf unit of stuff that I keep, interfacing clay and clay tools. Okay, so first I'm sweating, I apologize. Ugh, it's really hot. When you work upstairs, heat rises and it's just constantly hot up here. So I have a little fan going, so maybe that'll cool me down. But at first I wanna show you guys these really cool irons that I got from, they're gonna butcher me for this, Oliso Irons. Yeah, look at these guys. Okay, so look at these guys. Okay, it is from the brand Oliso? I hope I pronounced that right. But I was sent these a couple months ago, actually I think before quarantine hit, to try out, give them some feedback on it, and I just haven't yet because, I don't know, I just haven't yet. And I just kicked myself in the butt for not doing it yet because look how beautiful these irons are, guys. First off, this is the mama and this is the baby. This is the baby iron. This is not on right now. The mama's on. I'll show you a bit more about the mama here in a sec. Oh, so, okay. Yeah, that's so cool. So this is the baby. This is the baby. Let's zoom in on the baby. I'm realizing I need to get a whole, oh, that's just so gross looking. I'm so sorry. My ironing board is disgusting. So the baby is just a smaller iron, and it's more of a craft iron, very handy. You can move it around a whole lot more places, but it's very simple. Here's the heat dial. Here is where you press in for the steam to shoot out, and I just really like it because sometimes smaller irons are really useful to get into smaller, harder to reach places like sleeves or very narrow hems, or if you need to like press down interfacing in a one specific area, you can use this guy to like really get in there. And I just really appreciate the fact that it's tiny, it's also travelable, it's got a really long cord, which I really love because sometimes freaking iron cords are so short and it sucks. And it comes with this little cute little storage little thing. I just love, it's very handheld, it's very comfortable in the hand. I really liked this baby iron, it's so cute. It's called the M2 Pro, wow, it's not in, okay, there we go. The M2 Pro Mini Project Iron. If you're more curious about it, please check it out on their website. I will have links below. Freaking cool little mini baby iron. Okay, so moving the baby over. Here, let's talk about Mama. Let's get Mama in the shot here. The Mama iron from Oliso. So, oh my god, I suck at this name. But this iron, besides it's beautiful, is a smart iron, and I didn't really understand why they call it a smart iron until I read more about this iron. And it's a smart iron because it's there for you when you aren't. Because I've left my iron on, and I know probably you all have left your iron on. But the cool thing about it is that it has a feature called iTouch right down here. I'm gonna zoom in more here. Called iTouch. When it is flipped on,
wow, look at this.
It activates this touch sensitivity with the iron that lifts the iron off of whatever surface you have it on. So if you accidentally put it down because you gotta answer your phone or you gotta answer text message, you can just touch it by grabbing it, it'll go down, and then it'll raise itself back up again. So it's no longer on the ground or on the surface that you were ironing, but when you let go, it'll pop itself back up. Is that not the coolest freaking thing you've ever seen? I can't stop playing with it. Oh my god. It's gonna kill me, I love it. But anyways, you can switch that off there. It is also your basic iron settings for your steam, for your different steam water jets up through here. It's got a really simple look on no steam, full steam, settings for whatever fabric you're working on. Super simple. This iron is pretty freaking cool. And also, I just want to point out like how cool, oh, I need to lift it above that. How cool it is for the water section here. It's got like a really sexy feature right here. This is where the water goes in. It doesn't go in over here, it doesn't go at the top like other ones. It goes in right there, and it comes with like a super like spout container for you to put your water in, and it like just goes in so nicely. And I don't know why this amazes me, because I always end up spilling water everywhere when I put it in my iron, and usually it's because my iron's on, so it steams like crazy and it sounds awful. But like, isn't that sexy? Oomph. I don't know why. It's hot. I get it, that's hot. Tip your waiters and waitresses here. I'm here all day, guys. All right, so moving on from the irons. This also, if you don't know, this is the Oliso Smart Touch iron. Link in the description below if you would like to check it out. All right, so moving away from the irons, we're gonna go over here to this cutting table section. I'll show you what I have back in the corner, then I'll show you my cutting table. Back there is my wonderful air conditioning unit that is so loud with all my videos that I have audio issues. But my old iron where I keep my mannequins, that's all of my prints where I keep it, as well as my steamer. So now, let's move on to my baby here. This is my cutting table that I cut all of my fabric out on and that I work on, because I have hot glue on there, sorry. But it is a cutting table, complete with 2 self-healing mats, a couple small ones over there. This is where I cut and mark on the majority of my projects. The cool thing about this is I actually have it up to my hip height, which is very beneficial, so you're not bending over a lot when you're cutting your fabric and it's not hurting your back. I actually purchased these off of from IKEA many years ago, and they came with these little drawers. That is so dirty, I apologize, that go on the table legs. And then I bought risers to get them up even higher. Yes, those are my Mickey shoes. Yes. But this is my cutting table. Going over here, actually I needed to move this light. Oh, also here is my great lighting setup. Fun times. So on the most crafted side of my cutting table is where, you know, I do all my work. I always have these things very, very close to me when I do anything, and that is a sketchbook, a big one at that, because I write down so many things when I'm working. Notes, pattern numbers, waist measurements, numbers to keep, you know, my own little code of everything, to-do lists to get everything done. I find this one of the most beneficial things for any crafter, especially cosplayer, to always have a notebook with you wherever you're working in your studio to just jot stuff down. And I fill these suckers up, so it's a good way to use old sketchbooks. Several trays that I use to pin and stack everything on top of each other. Pins, safety pins, wonder clips, and my weights that I use for my patterns. These are just washers that you can get from Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever craft home supply store. They're like a nickel and they work amazing. So let's look at my little drawers here that I've recently renovated like I'm renovating something, good lord, that I've reorganized. Let's go that way. Over here is a bunch of different safety pins. Within these drawers is glue, and more glue, I think. Yep, more glue. So that's my glue drawer. Here is what's labeled as what's labeled. So chalk, craft knives, marker pens, tools, and tape. Always have right here. Among the top up here with my really cool fake succulents that I got off Amazon because I'm 30 now. Woohoo, green plant mama for life. Tools that I commonly use that I don't really like to keep in those. Seam rippers, owls, pens. Oh, there's my 6-inch ruler. 6-inch rulers that I use constantly, all up there. Up here, among the pipes that I probably shouldn't have anything on, are, these are magnet wristlets, I guess you would say. They're really cool. My dad actually got me these for Christmas. They are magnets, and I actually wear them on my wrist when I am draping stuff, and I can magnetize my scissors to them, and it'll hold my scissors as well as pins, and so I'm kind of like super free to do everything. I keep my tape on this random thing that I found, so my tape's always up here. Up here is a bunch of just random stuff that I have nowhere to put anything. My favorite, one of my favorite scents, Christmas spruce, that I just spray everywhere and cause chaos for my boyfriend and cat. And now we're gonna get into these drawers that I have meticulously labeled and organized. Here we go. On a whole, here's what they look like when you look at them, but when you get close, you see that they are organized My top drawer is all of my cutting tools. Yes, even in little compartments to keep yourself safe because cutting tools are sharp, as well as my measuring tapes. Don't know why those are in there, but they're in there. My wig things and random gloves. Tools, and this is like electrical tools, kind of everything that needs to be plugged in, and stuff that goes in there. Moving further down, we have Cricut stuff for my Cricut that I need to use more of. Down here, we're getting further down, rhinestones, beads, and embroidery things. That did not mean to rhyme, but it did. That's adorable. Rhinestones, beads, and embroidery things. That's so cute. Everything is in its own little bag. I've put all of my beads in small bags and in little compartments. So handy. Everything is where it needs to be. I love this little drawer. Just love it. Here is my trims. Surprisingly, I thought I had more trims when I did all the reorganization, but it turns out I don't. So here's all my trims. As you can see, leftover stuff from Anastasia. A lot of stuff left over from Anastasia. Some Yennefer things. I think there's some Doctor Strange trims in there, but I always keep cardboard, especially these guys, to wrap trims and small things around to keep them all nice and even in this drawer. So when you buy trims in bulk, kind of in the store, make sure you keep these things because they come really, really handy later on. Moving over to the second stack of drawers. Okay, that's really messy, but this is my drawer of ribbons. We don't really need to go into there, but there's ribbons in there. Serger thread drawer. And now we're getting, oh no, this is my bags. Bags and containers drawer. I save all bags all the time. You never know what you'll need. And also containers for stuff when you're crafting because things are small and things get lost. So moving down here is an interesting drawer set. So, what the hell? Okay, thought I cleaned. This is my patterns. Well, 3 of the drawers are my patterns. This upper one is bias tape. Don't know why that's in there. Bias tape and scissors in here. This is all of my store-bought patterns. They are labeled into certain companies. The Simplicity drawer is down here. The McCall's drawer is here. And the Butterick and Vogue drawer is here. I use mostly McCall's and Simplicity. Everything is organized by number. And it is only just the pattern and the instructions. In the book that I had over on the shelf, which I'll insert here, is where I keep the envelope. So if I need to go shopping, I go through my pattern book, find the pattern that I need, take the pattern envelope out of the book, come over here, find which drawer company I need, and then pull out the number and I have my pattern. It's just a really great way to organize your patterns. I highly suggest y'all do this. Okay, I would call this halfway through. So if you wanted to know where you are in this studio vlog tour, we are halfway through. Here we go. We have more to go. Trust me, it's cool.
3 hours later.
You'll want to find out all the crap that I have and all the things that are displayed. We are now on the back wall of my studio loft sewing space. This is where all of the sewing and machine stuff happens. So over here I have a stack of storage containers, and that includes shipping stuff, wigs, more wig stuff up through here. I try to keep as many packaging utility stuff as I need, as well as more bags. An awesome little handheld vacuum, which is very smart to have in a craft area. My next set of drawers is for my molding and casting tools. This is a fairly new chest of drawers for me because I'm getting into more sculpting and casting stuff. This is my favorite drawer, the goo drawer. Looks like God, but it's goo. And that is all of my goo. From smooth on pretty much everything, more goo. This bottom drawer is the plaster drawer, where all the plaster stuff stays and mold stuff. So that's that drawer. Stuff for my embroidery machine. Bringing it up here. My embroidery machine. I use a Janome Memory Craft 350E. She is rather old. I am looking to upgrade her, but she does what she needs. She's done a good job for a bunch of my sewing projects, my embroidery projects at least.
Wow, look at this.
Corsets that I've made that I have stored. My handy dandy serger that never fails me. I love you. It is a, her name is Bernadette, if you care to know. And my embroidery machine's name is Nora, but this is Bernadette. She is a Bernina Burnett 3-thread serger. Yeah, just your standard serger. Nothing fancy about her, but she is a workhorse. Now all of the lovely threads on my wall trying to be in color unison. The fan because it's freaking hot. Moving on to my beast of the baby, my Bernina. I use the B series Bernina 380. She is, I want to say 3 years old. 3 years old now. Doing a great job. Can't recommend this machine enough. She's awesome. I love Bernina machines. So a newest addition to my studio area is my prop wall. Here is something that I've actually never had. A wall with all of my props. See, we got my Captain Marvel Fawn's lunchbox, Yang's gauntlets, katanas, fans. Pretty. Doctor Strange's spell thingamajig. My katana mask that continuously does not want to stay. There it is. She's supposed to be on the wall right there, but she's not. My Wonder Woman shield, which I'm damn proud of that thing. Up here is my God Killer Wonder Woman sword. Over here is my Daenerys stuff. My Daenerys necklace. And my poor Daenerys chain that I have yet to wear because of my failed Daenerys project, but has been sculpted by Alexandra Lee Studios. Look at the detail on that thing, y'all. We sculpted this and casted it. Came out okay, so Alex added on a whole lot more clay and then painted it and made it look so much better. But isn't that great? And then the chain. So eventually I'll have Daenerys. And then up here, this Daenerys necklace that was sculpted by my good friend Rebecca, Bubbles Galore, back in 2015 maybe? I can't remember. But I just love those pieces. They look good together. Dragons for life. Hell yeah. And then of course, Luke's lightsaber, because reasons, or is this Rey's lightsaber now? I don't know, whatever. Stuff I keep next to my sewing machine, pins, wonder clips, sewing machine needles, tchotchkes, oil, sharps box. If you don't have a sharps box, get a sharps box. Now this is probably my last tools drawers, so we'll go through that. Here's where I keep all my magnets. It's really classy, I know. So sewing machine items. It's pretty standard sewing machine items. We have notions, snaps, rivets, and grommets. I try to keep everything in bags and its own little compartments because it could easily get all over the place. Yes, this is a hot dog. A hot dog little zip pouch that I have that currently holds my leather punches. Down here, elastic and Velcro. Pretty self-explanatory, elastic and Velcro. Down here, wire, electronics, and steel boning. Pretty easy to know that. Miscellaneous stuff. Looks like old bobbins that I have from my old sewing machines. More embroidery thread, embroidery software, miscellaneous. And the last one I have shoulder pads, because the 80s still rocks. Shoulder pads. Where I keep my big fancy check that I won with my Anastasia outfit in 2018. I also try to keep everyone understanding and knowing that when you're in my sewing loft area, I have exposed pipes. It's only 6 feet from the floor to the ceiling up here. So a lot of my pictures, I don't know if you guys have seen with my Instagram, I am kind of ducking under pipes and exposed things. So that's the fun part about having a loft sewing area, but if you're over 6 feet tall, you have to duck when you're up here. FYI. But yes, there's an exposed pipe. There's an exposed pipe, so I have to be very careful when I stand up from when I sew. And there's one over there when you come in. That's the one everyone hits. It's why I actually have a duck on top telling people to duck when they come up. I know I am hilarious. Okay, let's talk about, I call this my media area. My media area, if that makes sense. Bottom shelf is more fabric storage on bolts. I love storing fabric on bolts if you can. Store fabric on bolts, guys. Also, it looks pretty. Second drawer is a storage drawer. Wonder Woman is all right there. My mermaid tail, some other random tchotchkes. My next is, this shelf is actually probably one of the most used shelves up here. It's where I keep my computer and my iPad. Right now, I'm super into Bailey Sarian. If you don't know who she is a queen who does makeup and tells you true crime stories while you're doing it. I love watching her videos. Go see her. And here is my Cricut with my wonderful new hello there sign I got from Target. Cricut area. Now this is a basket that I keep all of my electronics, chargers, cords, stuff in. When you're recording constantly up here, I have to keep everything where it is so I know where it all is. So I have a basket full of my electronics stuff for recording, capturing, everything right there. Here is some books that I keep a little more close to my heart. My Game of Thrones costuming book, my corsets book that I really, really love, and also my Queen Amidala sanctuary section of the outfits that I have made, complete with an actual doll from Mongolia from my friend B, who is actually from Mongolia, that she gave to me. I love that. And the next shelf is more of a storage shelf as well. Binders, folders. This is where I keep a lot of magazines that I've been in, that I've been published in, or have had an image in. I try to keep right there. Binder for something really cool that I can't wait to tell you guys about soon. Yeah. Binders for competitions. I try to keep everything really similar to where it is. You know, a jar for your dragon, your lightsaber. And then my puppy cat puppet that I made years ago for my Bee and Puppy Cat cosplay, and more greenery, because greenery. And over here is something actually kind of new. It's where I keep all of my clamps for when I work for wigs or need things for clamps. My tripod, how I record everything, is always on clamp tripods that I clamp to my cutting table. Okay, so, forgot about to talk about this. It's really simple, but it's a roll of newsprint on my railing with scissors that are always here for pattern making. It's really handy, I always keep it there. So we're done with this room. Now let's go to my fabric storage area. Before we walk in here, this is the threshold that I have from this room to my fabric paint material storage area that I'll show you through. But I have my mannequin here all dressed up in my favorite costume that I've ever made. And yes, it's my Doctor Strange. So I can constantly look at it even though it's behind a bunch of exposed pipes because ceiling. But yes, Doctor Strange is on a mannequin. And now let's squeeze through here as we walk past the doctor. Also, this has a lot of exposed pipes. See the fun hazard that I live in. This is my paint storage area where all my paints are. Pretty self-explanatory. Over here, Warbler box, and also some foam I see in there. And here, locked cabinet. Well, not really locked, is where I keep all the chemicals and bad smelling things in its own little compartment. Down here is more flat foam and other foamy foams. Keep that closed because it smells bad. Back here is something we're not gonna talk about. We're just gonna Yep, back there. Hey, what's up? How you doing? He just keeps the back in order. That's a good man. A weird girl cosplay from Frankenweenie. If anybody wants this, message me, we'll make a deal, and I will sell it to you cheap. Seriously, I will. Okay, over here is actually an area that is very special to me, and is my fabric storage area that is meticulously labeled. Just want to point that out. I have 3 storage towers of stuff. So let's go through it. Oh, Warbler scraps. Warbler scraps, leather scraps, muslin scraps, silks, chiffon organzas. I do encourage, if you guys ever want to organize your fabric stash, I encourage organizing by fabric type versus color or what you've used it for. I find that more easy to figure out what I need and go shopping for, but that's up to you. This is what I've done. Spandex 4-way stretch, big guy for that. Knits, linen, faux suede leather, leather and vinyl, eyelet lace knitting and tulle, fun stuff. Velvets and sequins. Oh. And right down there is crepe and jersey. Fun little fabric area. Moving up here, getting kind of tight. Hang in there with me, guys. Silks and, oh, I'm sorry, satins and brocades. Cotton, denim and flannel. Wool, felt and fleece, canvas. Over here, big bag of fur. Leftover katana, leather, suitings. I guess this is my cotton, like, overload drawer, because why don't I have that labeled cottons? I am so confused. Did I not have a cotton? What the hell? Okay, well that's the cotton drawer. Here's furs in through here. I don't have anything in these yet. And that is big sections for muslin and draping fabric. Okay, so over here is a bunch of fabric scraps that I will explain in a second. Oh, also keep your cardboard so you can make fabric bolts. Thank you guys for joining me on my studio room tour video. It was something I had planned for a while and I've just been waiting to do it, and it's been in between projects, but now I did it. So now you guys have seen my whole area where I work, now that it's clean. There is one aspect about, oh my god, my hair, I apologize. They said having bangs would be fun. Oh well, screw it. There is one thing I do want to mention that I have switched now with my sewing area, is that I am going to try my damnedest from here on out to be a 0 fabric waste sewing studio. I know that's like, well, why aren't you like a 0 waste? I'm like, because this is a very hard transition and I'm taking baby steps. So I plan now to be completely 0 waste fabric wise, and other materials, of course, like if I have leftover Warbler foam, I'm gonna keep it, I'm not gonna throw it away. Studio for a long time. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I now have 2 separate trash bins. I have one for trash and then one for just fabric. And when I am finished with big projects, I am going to be making a lot of using a lot of my scrap fabric to make projects that I'm going to sell in my shop, or do charity run projects that I will have offered in my shop as well, using my scrap fabric. I just have been wanting to make some small projects like rag rugs and zip pouches to sell to you guys using fabric that I have, because I really hate throwing fabric away in general, because I just don't like to throw fabric away, but also I find that way too much stuff is thrown away, and with a lot of the fast fashion in the world, clothing is one of the #1, I don't think it's #1 or #2, but it's one of the top wasteful things out there in the environment, and so I'm going to try to do my part to become 0 waste as much as I possibly can in my life, and that's going to be starting right here with my sewing studio. Y'all heard it first. So now that Yennefer is over, I'm sure a lot of you are kind of wanting to know, sorry, my neighbor just pulled up. But my next cosplay project is going to be Naja from What We Do in the Shadows. And this is a project that I just rapidly threw on my cosplay to do make list because I am in love with this show so much. I think it is hilarious, and I just want to become Naja. I mean, she's so fun. Plus she wears like late 19th century clothing, and that's something I've been wanting to dive into as well. But here's the kicker. I'm also going to be making the Naja Doll, for those of you who know. So that is the next couple of months of upcoming projects I have for me and this channel. I will be still sticking to releasing a video every week. Coming up, I have a couple cosplay breakdowns of my outfits that I will be posting, as well as these projects that I listed. Hopefully you guys will enjoy those, and stay tuned for more. And just like I say in each of my videos, if you like cosplay, you like sewing, please like and subscribe to my channel, and maybe share this video around to your friends so they can subscribe to my channel too. And if you have any questions about any of the products you've seen here in my studio, or just have questions about how you can organize your studio, leave them in the comments below. I do read the comments and I do reply to you guys. Yeah, so do that. And until next week, bye guys!